Hey everybody, here's another question. Today we're going to deal with geometry and specifically we're going to talk about a cylinder, and this is the question. Let's go through that. We have a cylinder, has a surface area of 402 centimeters square. The height is 3 times greater than the radius. What is the height of the cylinder? And there are 4 options here, so we're going to go through and we're going to solve this. Now, first, reminder, the surface area formula for the cylinder, okay? And the surface area includes the top circle, the bottom circle. So that's where the 2 pi r squared comes, because one of them is pi r squared on top. That's the area of the top circle. Another one pi r squared in the bottom. And then 2 pi r is when you open up the body of the cylinder, and when you open it up, it becomes a rectangle, but you already know that. So let's go ahead and now solve this, because this is a tricky kind of a question. The height is 3 times greater than the radius. So this height h is equal to 3r. All right, so now we have to use that to our advantage, and we're going to replace h right here with the 3r, okay, because that's what that is. Now, we know the surface area value, so we're going to rewrite it now. We're going to do 402, remove the, just ignore the unit at this very moment, then we're going to come back and rewrite the unit, okay? So 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r. Now, in terms of h, now let's take the 3r in there. Okay, that's what we're doing. So instead of h, we're going to put in there 3r. Now we're going to do the math and we're going to simplify. So now let's go ahead and simplify. 402 equals to 2 pi r squared. The first term, there's nothing we can do. That's already simplified. Plus, now we're going to do the math in here. 2 times 3, that's 6. Pi is pi, and r times r is r squared. Very nice. Okay, now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and solve for r. But remember, we have here, as you can see, 2 pi r and 6 pi r squared. 2 pi r squared and 6 pi r squared. These two together terms. That means you can add them, okay? So apple and apple, we can add them because r squared and r squared is like apple and apple. So 2 pi is just a number, so a 6 pi. So what is 2 pi plus 6 pi? Well, that is 8 pi. So that's 8 pi r squared. And then 402 is the surface area. Now we have this equation, we're solving for r squared. Well, we're actually solving for r, right? So divide both sides by 8 pi because we need to isolate the r squared first. So that's 8 pi. Now I'm going to rewrite it as r squared equal to 402 divided by 8 pi. We need r. We don't need r squared. So we need to, you guessed it, take the square root of both sides. And when you do this, you will get r equals 3.998. Now, one thing I didn't say, and that is the value of r in this case, notice that it is positive. Now, technically, this also has to give you a negative value. That means you could also get r equal to negative 3.998. But there is no such a thing as a negative radius. Okay, so we cannot accept negative measurement. Okay, so now this one is 3.998 centimeters for the radius, but the question was the height. We need to find the height. So what do we do now? Well, we have to multiply. Remember, so the height was 3r. That means height will be 3 times 3.998, and approximately now this will be 11.994, which is, we can round it up to 12. All right, and this is 12 centimeters. Fantastic. So now let's write the final statement. H is approximately 12 centimeters. If you find this useful, like, subscribe, and make comments below. If you want to see or go over certain topics, let me know. It would be amazing so that I can interact with you. Have a fantastic day. Until next time.